Y'all ready? Well, here we go then. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalist. We are so happy to have you here on this lovely Sunday morning. It is wonderful to look around and see some people returning, see some faces we haven't seen for a couple weeks or longer, and as always, wonderful to look around and see some new faces. So welcome, all of you. We are so pleased and happy that you're here. You know what this is? You know how to make it go shh. Take a second and double check on that. There you go. Always double check mine because you think it's bad when a phone goes off out here. We have a very exciting morning for you. We have a wonderful guest, Birch Q, which you will hear all about in just a little bit, but I love being able to say good morning and welcome to everyone.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalists. I want to give everyone a warm welcome here in person, on Zoom, or even in the future, watching via YouTube. Special warm welcome as well to anyone who is new here, your first time here. Thank you for being here. Let's take a moment to welcome everyone on Zoom by giving a quick wave at the camera as it turns around. Sorry, Lee. All right, my name is Alex Stuckey. I will be the pastoral associate today. I'm working with the exceptionally awesome and devilishly handsome Chris Tackett, who is our world-famous music director. Our minister, Reverend Matthew Funk Crary, is currently away this week, but we're grateful to have Birch Q as our guest minister. Birch Q is the intern minister at First Universalist Church of Denver, and we are grateful to have them here with us. Additionally, we have Stacy Sosa as our religious exploration coordinator, and Stephanie Morales as our administrative assistant. None of this would be possible, though, without our wonderful AV team, which consists of Lee on camera, Ann doing the slides and switching, and Dan doing the sound. We also have our welcoming team as well. We're grateful to have them here to welcome everyone here. And a special thank you to Joel Yellen, who is both our song leader and director of hospitality. Without any further ado, please let's all welcome Birch Q.
It's good to be with all of you in this place for connection and transformation. And in that spirit, let's gather ourselves as we light this chalice and mark this sacred time together. Beautiful, fierce, beloved flame, we have so much in common with you. We, too, have power either to warm hearts or burn bridges, to create heaven or hell here on earth. May we contemplate these truths in your light as we gather here together.
As you know, many times, every month we choose a different community partner. And this month, our community partner is UU the Vote, our own local Unitarian Universalist political get out the vote, do the best they can under the restrictions, and help us to have an active voice as much as we can in local politics and the national political scene. So out on the table, our woven basket is for donations to UU the Vote, and as always, our wooden bowl on the table is for our own local operations here at Mountain Vista. So you can leave cash or check. If you're giving to UU the Vote, please make a little note in the memo section of the check, and otherwise, hope to see you at the reception after the service out through those doors. We'd like to start this morning our singing off with what's come to be a lovely Unitarian standard. I have no idea where it came from or how it does. I'm always curious when you see a song that has 7 creators credited for it. It's number 1020, 1020 in the teal hymnal. As always, the words will be on the screen. Joel will ably lead us as well. Wo ya ya, would you rise and join us in singing?
A song created by committee, very UU.
It's still a lovely song anyway. We are going,
Heaven knows where we are going, but we know it's there. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
Wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will. When we get there, heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
Wo ya ya,
Oh yeah, yeah,
wo ya ya,
oh yeah,
Our reading today is Spilling the Light by Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. Some people are used to keeping the rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red. Only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright light to keep our promises, to what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place, to this community, and even tenderly interconnected to this planet, we promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us, the chalice that we cannot tame and cannot measure. The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside us cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself. Unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone as though you are made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. And together, we will chase away the sickness, the the secrets and leave only to the open possibilities that the future is a space for growth. For everything, there is a season. Good times and bad times. Planting and reaping, joys and sorrows. We recognize this each week through our ritual of joys and sorrows. This water collected from Sonoran skies, our homes and our journeys represents our congregation. We drop stones into the water and we share joys and sorrows, reflections of these seasons of our lives. We invite our congregation to respond with celebration and comfort.
Good morning. Today I've heard Dorothy Jacobs is 85 years young. Some of you, if you've been around a while, know that Dorothy was our pianist for about 10 years. And Pi Irwin shares that Jean-Bour has completed 4 of his 6 weeks of commitment to provide care to his sister and her partner in Bellingham, Washington. His sister has stage 4 cancer that's metastasized into her lungs and other places. And her partner, George, has had a stroke and has several other health issues. His sister's children have been very thankful for Jean-Bour's support and care, and Pi will be very glad to have him home.
Hey, actually, I feel moved, Dorothy. I'm sorry I'm going to embarrass you a little bit more, but how can we possibly let this go without singing? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dorothy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Chris. We had a handful of stones for the sorrows unnamed, but still present among us, and another for the joys as a reminder of the seasons held among us, but not spoken aloud. Our Pastoral Care Committee invites you to contact us. We want to hear your joy or sorrow. With your permission, we will share it on Sundays during our ritual. May we feel the rhythm of these seasons and respond to the need among us. May it be so.
Holding all in care and opening ourselves to love in this moment, let us take time to reflect on these words by the Reverend Deanne Van Diver. Throughout time, our Unitarian Universalist faith tradition has held a thread of clarity. How we relate to each other creates the conditions of hell or heaven here on earth. We may not know or agree about what lies beyond this life, but it's our conviction that our actions and inactions have consequences for the web of all existence. While fascinating and mysterious, we do not place our hopes for salvation in what comes after death. We find our salvation here on earth, showing up for each other with mercy respect, and compassion? How are we relating to our neighbors, friends? Our presence matters. How we relate to each other creates the conditions of heaven or hell here on earth. May we remember and affirm that we are all in this together. Friends, we are all in this together. Amen. We come to this place each week for connection and renewal. In the middle of this hour, in the middle of our lives, we take time for stillness. And in that spirit, I invite you to join me in this guided meditation. Find a position for your body that is comfortable, stable. Center yourself in your body. Close your eyes, or set your hands in your lap, or straighten your back, or feel your feet touching the ground beneath you. Whatever it is you need to do to lead yourself to your center. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine all of the promises that connect us. Begin by imagining where you are. What promises have you made to yourself? Don't judge these promises, but feel how they connect you to yourself. Now, move your focus out 1 degree. What promises have you made to the people around you? In this room, to the people close to you? What promises have they made to you? Again, don't judge these promises right now, but feel how they connect you to the people in your life. Move your focus out 1 more degree. What promises have you made to the people in your school, your job, your neighborhood, this city? What promises have those people made to you? Feel how these promises connect us. Now try reaching out one more degree. It's a broad one. What are the promises that connect you to this land? These mountains, these rivers, this planet. Feel how these promises connect us all. Now, come back into this space, this center, your center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Deep and steady. Feel yourself in your body again. Breathe in. Breathe out. How good it is to be with one another, to love and be loved, to care and be cared for. Peace. Amen. So may it be.
It's one of those moments I always feel is best to respond with singing. We have the beautiful hymn, which we've sung a few times this summer, but it's important, and I think we should sing it again. It's number 318 in our gray hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition. As always, the words will be on the screen, and Joel will lead us. We Would Be One, the lovely Finlandia tune.
We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and
I had no idea what to expect from a lay-led service when I showed up that Sunday morning. Much less, what could I expect from a bunch of youths and their teachers? Would they stumble over their words, nervously flipping through their pages? Would they wow us with the insights of a rising generation? When I came away from that experience, though, I was inspired and surprised by what I found there. Sure, there was fumbling, but we had more than enough love to hold people trying something new. These youths blessed us with brilliant, thoughtful insight. If you have ever experienced a coming-of-age service, either as an adult or as a youth yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Before that Sunday, I had only foggy ideas about what coming of age means in our faith or why it got its own service. But I was captivated witnessing these youths share what they had learned in that year of faith formation. They shared how they tackled some pretty hefty questions for anyone of any age. What matters most in life? What does Unitarian Universalism ask of us in the world? What happens after death? What does it mean to be a good person? Their thoughtfulness was moving. And so was the breadth of beliefs that they shared. There were youths who shared their belief in God and in no God. Some believed there would be a life after this one, and many didn't. Many more found these questions much less interesting than the relationships we build together in community. Together, they reflected so clearly what it is to be Unitarian Universalists. No matter how old or young, our faith is rich in theological diversity. After all, we need not think alike to love alike. But if that's the case, what holds us together? What is the glue of our community? If we can be so varied in how we know the world, how do we build and stay in community together? There was an NBC sitcom a few years ago that can help us answer these questions. It's not about Unitarian Universalism or even a survey of world religions. It is, however, about what keeps us together. The Good Place was one of those shows I knew I would love even before I had watched it. From bits and pieces I had seen beforehand, I thought it would be some sort of sleuthy, mystery-solving comedy set in a realm of the afterlife. That's not exactly the storyline, but it's not too far off either. It is, in fact, a show about the afterlife, equally deep and hilarious. More importantly, it is a show about the value of relationships. While its setting is in a mostly supernatural realm, its lessons are incredibly humanistic. It shines a light on our human capacity to not only mess one another up, but on our capacity, ultimately, to achieve and create goodness. It offers its viewers plenty to chew on. and has a few important ideas for our Unitarian Universalist tradition. One of those is the moral foundation of what we owe each other. In our creedless tradition, when few other things unite us, our shared values convey what we aim to give each other and what we expect to receive in return. This summer, I'm joining you to explore our value of interdependence, considering what we owe each other, even when we're different, is at this value's heart. For those of you who haven't seen The Good Place and are still wondering what it has to do with us, here's a quick rundown. Eleanor Shellstrop wakes up one day to find she has died. No longer alive in the sunny state of Arizona, she realizes she left behind a life marred with selfish decisions. Her self-centeredness harmed many people, including herself. So imagine her shock when she finds out she has gone to the good place, an afterlife realm for everyone who racked up enough good points in their life during their time here on earth. Someone must have made a mistake, she thinks, sending her here after her untimely death. But as she and her newfound friends quickly discover, not everything is as good as it seems in the good place. Pretty quickly, they realize a few things about this afterlife. First, despite appearances, they are in fact in the bad place, a realm of eternal torment. Second, the cosmic points system that determines your afterlife is so outdated and unnuanced that nobody has made it to the good place in over 500 years. Finally, they think to themselves, there has got to be a better solution to fixing this problem than scrapping Earth altogether and starting over anew. It is a show of truly cosmic proportions, lighthearted and profound. Its characters tell a story about our human capacity to do good and become better, despite our capacity to harm and hinder one another. Which is why I find it so affirming as a Unitarian Universalist. Here, human morality isn't something we can take for granted. Goodness isn't something we're guaranteed, which we dig out as rugged individuals from ourselves. It's also not something we ascend to through divine grace. Instead, we see that the people around us and our relationships with them are both the source and the destination of our goodness, of our morality. We reach out with goodness to care for the people in our lives. We are touched with goodness in return. Goodness is reciprocal. This is what our faith is all about when we get down to it. How we want to treat each other, the good we want to create together, is what unites us. This is what we mean when we say our faith is covenantal. We make covenants, agreements with each other about how we want to treat each other. Not statements of faith about God or no God, afterlife or no afterlife, but agreements about how we will live with each other. Our shared values, with love at the center, express this truth. When we come together as a community under these values, we say two things at once. One is what we want for ourselves from each other, and the other is what we deem worthy and important to commit to this shared endeavor we call our lives together. But what I think is less explicit is what lies in the space between our own needs and the needs of others. We are not independent agents imparting goodness upon the world in blessing. Instead, we know that our lives are interdependent, bound up together with one another. We create goodness through our work and our love together, our living together. While each of us has the capacity to be a blessing in this world, our individual capacity is so much smaller than what we can create together. This is another idea in the good place that I see reflected in our faith, and one that matters especially in the world we live in today. In the show's first season and all throughout, morality doesn't come from within people or outside of them, but it is something that arises between them. There is a scene early on in the show with the character Chidi Anagonye, a philosophy professor with a chronic case of moral anxiety, who gives his soulmate, Eleanor, an ethics lesson. The key moral concept of this lesson is that an action is wrong if we can't morally justify it to the people it will impact the most. And by the same token, what is good, just, righteous, is what we can convince others will benefit us all. This perspective on morality hinges on the implicit and explicit agreements we have with one another, what we need from and owe each other. This points to a morality that grows out of our relationships rather than the authority of gods or laws we have inherited. That's a timely reframing of our American moral perspective. Reflecting on the show for the New York Times, Sam Anderson had this to say. This idea is in a way deeply un-American, an affront to our central mythology of individual rights, self-interest, and the sanctity of the free market. As an over-the-top avatar of all our worst impulses, Eleanor is severely allergic to the notion of community. And yet, her salvation will turn out to depend on the people around her, all of whom will in turn depend on her. What makes us good, Chidi tells her, are our bonds to other people and our innate desire to treat them with dignity. That line is so important to rest on. What makes us good are the bonds to other people and our innate desire to treat them with dignity. What a Unitarian Universalist thing to say. And yet, this notion of interpersonal morality is a reframe that we also need. You may have recently heard the adage circulating that community is the antidote to despair. And I imagine that's why some of you are here this morning. But the reality is that being in community is often messy, uncomfortable, and even painful. We come face to face with disagreements, unintended hurts, and the vulnerability of living with one another, even when we're not at our best. This messiness underscores the need for explicit agreements with one another. When my spouse and I got married last year, instead of writing vows, we wrote a covenant together. We were clear about the values we wanted to bring into our relationship, like patience, curiosity, and trust. But we were also clear about what we would do when things go sideways, as they do, and we find ourselves in conflict. We covenanted to address issues before disaster, take 5 when needed, and call one another back into our principles. We did this because we know that real relationships are messy, and we can be thoughtful about how we approach this reality. We knew that goodness isn't something we can take for granted, but something that we have to create together. This is a way that we made our commitment to each other, this ceremony that marked our union, particularly Unitarian Universalist. As a whole faith, we practice a cooperative approach to goodness and morality. We come together through shared values which can lead us to principled living if we commit to them. We are together because of how we want to be together, which in turn is a matter of what we owe each other. All other sources of meaning and purpose aside, our values are things we can agree on. But what underscores these values? What grounds us across generations, even as our tradition asks us to restate our values with each tradition, with each generation? What the principles and the shared values have in common is covenant. They ask us to choose how we want to build this world together. With some mindfulness and attention, this perspective can show us a vision of heaven or hell we can agree upon as Unitarian Universalists, whatever our own beliefs. Despite the strong ties that these words, heaven and hell, have with divine reward and punishment, we can find a gentler, more human understanding of them. The philosopher T.M. Scanlon, a major inspiration for The Good Place, once shared this in an interview. In my view, you could say, hell is other people. That is to say, hell is the relationship with other people that you create by treating them badly. My idea of the bad place is the place that you're in when you've spoiled your relationships with the other people you're living with, and you can't be friends or trust each other or do any of the things that you're supposed to do in community, or even when you interact with strangers. If hell is other people, then heaven, too, is other people. If hell is the relationship with other people that you create when treating them badly, then heaven is an experience where we have nurtured our relationships with one another through mutual care and consideration. Perhaps getting to the good place is about getting to the best possible community we can build together and for each other. So as we prepare ourselves to leave this space and re-enter our lives in the world, I invite you to consider what promises are you making in your own life within and beyond these walls? What world do we dream of that we're building together? As our opening song reminds us, whatever it will look like. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough. But we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. But we know we will.
Thank you, Birch. That was lovely. We've been singing some new things. We've done some old favorites over the last couple of weeks. And I wanted to stick one back in that fits the topic, but also is one that I would like us to learn better. It's number 1052 in the teal hymnal. Words, of course, will also be on the screen. 1052. Singing the Journey. And unlike the first one, who had 7 people involved in its creation, and the second one, which had 2, this one is just one, our friend Jim Scott. Beautiful song, The Oneness of Everything. Would you rise and sing with us? Far beyond the grasp of giants,
Light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. In the oneness of everything.
far is in the depths of
Trees will light to meet the eye, the breath of wind and grace.
Second verse, trust in the song becoming a heaven dance.
Mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth forever giving. And now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living. For the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand. understand and reduce to terms divine. Vast and immeasurable time and space, all an overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years as I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
We're almost done. Beautiful morning. Hopefully you can get out and try to stay cool today. We have a couple things I want to pull your attention to before we go today. Our first information is we are starting a new round of OWL, Our Whole Lives, the wonderful and beautiful comprehensive sex and life ed class that is sponsored through us and UUCT. Are you or someone you know interested in taking our OWL class? They welcome everyone, everything age appropriate, from very small children up to very big children, all the way up to 95 and beyond. There's a class for all stages of life. Our OWL facilitators are working very hard to offer classes, and this is right. All the classes that are age appropriate and right for everyone. So come and take a part, talk to Stacy, and there's other further information. I know there's other information running around out there, and you can just ask around. We'll connect you to the right people. We are also always looking for new people to train as facilitators and teachers. Talk to Stacy, our wonderful religious education coordinator, for more information about that. Also, you may have seen the big signs, big posters around the building here that show all these various topics and ideas. These are the dozen topics and ideas that we are working on to bring you the next year's worth of programming. We're always open to suggestions for liturgy, for ideas, for songs. I always love song suggestions and music suggestions. I can't promise we'll do them, but I always love to hear what people have to suggest and what people have to recommend. And that's one of the beauties of this place, is you suggest an idea, but somebody else goes, oh, I know that, but how about this too? And somebody else will say, oh, but there's this other piece that goes beautifully with that. If you'd like to, there are markers and Post-its and so forth. All the various signs are around in the front hall, in the Oasis room, and all around the building. Please feel free to contribute any of your own ideas. The PA team and me and Reverend Matthew will all be sitting down and taking your suggestions as we go and start to plan and continue to plan this upcoming year. I think that's my job done. Please stay cool the rest of the day if you can.
As we prepare to leave this place, we extinguish this chalice. Precious flame, you who have guided us through this hour, even though we extinguish you, may your light shine in each of us, guiding us on our way with the lessons we have learned in your light. Beloved people, as we go about our way, may we remember and be blessed by the promises we make and the promises we keep. May we be blessings to this earth just by being a part of it. Peace. Amen. So may it be.
Sitting for an hour, everybody, as you can, on your feet. Just a simple sway from one side to the other. You can get your hands involved if that feels good. Get your back involved. Move. Get some stuff going. Just lean to one side a little bit. Lean to the other side a little bit. And ha-ha, I've tricked you into dancing.
Absolutely, thank you.
Whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya.